Hi, everybody. It's Heather from Good Morning Wilton. How are you? So I just want to let you know about a story we've just pushed publish on. The school district has released information about the plans for moving forward from here on in, starting Monday. There are key points that help give some definition to the school community about how long schools may be closed and what learning will look like during that time. What closed until further notice really means, we actually spoke to Kevin Smith earlier today, and he told us that the timeline for how long the schools are going to remain closed is something that has been developed under close consultation with Barry Bogle, who is Wilton's health director. And for now, the schools will be closed at least through next Friday. At that time, Kevin Smith and Barry Bogle will reassess and determine if that period of closure needs to be extended beyond that. But at least what Kevin Smith said was that at least they can give families some sense of something more specific for how long the district is going to remain closed. So everyone's been talking about this continuity of education and what that looks like, what e-learning or distance learning is going to look like. Some people will be happy, some people may not be so happy. So parents and families will start getting information as early as this evening and over the weekend about what their specific families' plans will look like. But it will begin in earnest starting on Monday, March 16th at 9 a.m. And there are going to be Google Classrooms that will officially open, and that's how kids, at least those who are going to be doing work online, will be interacting or getting their work and doing their work. What Smith said is that there will be a range of age-appropriate assignments that students will work on and daily plans outlining the work that will be provided to their students. It will not be live teaching. There will be no Google, live group calls or video conferencing. There will not be live lectures. There will not be any kind of recorded lectures that students will watch. It will not look anything like that. Basically, students are going to work at their own pace on the assignments that they're given. They're going to work on their own. And as for how hard the work will be, this is the language that Dr. Smith used. The work that the students will be assigned for now is not going to advance learning. He called it maintenance work, or essentially enrichment work. And that will essentially allow students to practice the kinds of things that they have been working on up until now. That will go on potentially 2 weeks. Maintenance learning, the district has been planning up until now the work that they were doing during the professional development, the work that the district has been doing leading up until now, has gotten them prepared enough to give at least 2 weeks of that maintenance work. So that's as long as the district hopes to be doing maintenance learning. Dr. Smith acknowledged nobody is comfortable. These are his words. No one is comfortable with maintenance. And what's difficult is that they have to satisfy what the requirement from the State Department of Education is. And that's essentially that they are able to provide appropriate learning for all students in the district. The language that Smith has always used are for all of Wilton's learners, including the most complex learners. So because this e-learning program does not really accommodate that, the work that students are doing at home will not count toward the 180-day requirement that the state has. And even though Governor Lamont announced something yesterday about modifying this plan, there is still no way for the district to get a waiver given what the district is able to do. So these days that we are at home, at least for the next 2 weeks of learning, a week for sure, that Smith is committed to a week, but if there's 2 weeks of this maintenance e-learning, those days will not count toward Wilton's 180-day requirement. So any of these days that work is going on will have to be made up. And whether that for now would be made up at the end of the year up until June 30th, or potentially spring break or other plans that the district might have to get into. It all depends. But for right now, these days will not count. So what does that mean? We still don't know. Dr. Smith is not ready to say what that means for graduation or any of the other plans that the district has for the year. In terms of whether or not this work will count and will students be graded on the work that they're going to be doing at home, Dr. Smith said he called the work optional. So what I'm saying is whether or not parents want to share that with their students, that the work is optional, is an option for parents. But essentially, this work will not count. It will not be graded. Students will not be graded on this work that's being done as of now that's considered maintenance work. They are hopeful that, that if they have to extend this beyond 2 weeks, that they will be working on additional plans. In fact, starting on Monday, Dr. Smith and his core central office administrative team and the principals from each of the buildings will be getting together in the central office, the actual office at the Board of Education. Right now, nobody has been in the schools in terms of staff and obviously children. Smith has been meeting with people virtually. They've all been doing it online in different locations. Dr. Smith has been working out of his home, as has everybody else. But on Monday, his core staff will be meeting with him in the Board of Education office, and they're going to start working on that, kind of digging deep to see what they can come up with if it has to go beyond 2 weeks of this maintenance e-learning. As far as what this will cost, I asked him, how much will this cost the district and the town, essentially? Consider everything an unbudgeted expense because the school is technically closed. Everything has to get made up at another time. And that time, that makeup time, falls outside of what teachers are currently contracted on. So per the conditions of the negotiated contract, each teacher will have to be paid $100 per day that is not a current day on the school calendar. So as Smith said, if you do the math, that's about $60,000 to $65,000 a week. So that's what we're looking at right now. As for whether or not there's any kind of relief funding from the state or from the federal government, that's all kind of to be seen. What Dr. Smith said was he had been hoping, when he heard that Governor Lamont had done some modification to the waiver situation for 180 days, that maybe that included some sort of funding. It doesn't. So depending on what happened, after today, I know that President Trump declared an emergency. I don't know if there's going to be any additional funding coming down to the states and the schools and what have you, but that's the situation that we're looking at right now. And in terms of whether or not there's cleaning going on in the buildings now, Superintendent Smith said, yes, cleaning started actually the night that the closure was announced. So Wednesday night, March 11th, custodial crews were in the buildings and they had started cleaning. They have started with the high school. They're going to go one building at a time. So first they're going to go with the high school, then they're going to move on to Middlebrook, then on down to Cider Mill, and then down to Miller Driscoll. In addition, Dr. Smith said that the school's custodial crews will also help support any kind of cleaning work that has to get done at Comstock Community Center. So that's the update that I have for you today. I hope that, I'm sorry, I'm just checking emails. Anytime that the emails go off, that means there might be new breaking news. Let's see. No, it looks like we're okay for the time being. So that's what I've got for you. Please stay tuned to goodmorningwilton.com. You can follow me on Facebook. I try and get the videos to go simultaneously between the website. I try and send out email alerts. You can sign up for the email list every morning, Monday through Friday. There's an email that comes into your inbox between 6:30 and 8 o'clock in the morning, depends. And I do try to post as much as I possibly can when there's news that's worth it. Okay, everybody, take care. Have a good weekend. Oh, actually, there are other things that I do want to tell people. I spent a lot of today going into town because I know that there's been talk about supporting the retailers and supporting the restaurants that we have in town. The Wilton Chamber has put out an email about some of their chamber members about the special things that restaurants are doing. For sure, make sure, use the restaurants for takeout. They'll, most of them are delivering, or if they may be setting up special delivery. if you can, think about gift certificates. So I did a little shopping today because I just wanted to show people, and I'm going to be posting pictures too. But, I got some gift certificates that are going to be part of the membership program that I run, and, gifts throughout the year. Gift certificates, a lot of these are gift certificates. I know that Happy Hands, they actually told me next Tuesday they're going to be starting a curbside program where you can, go online, order something with them. They will deliver out the pottery to curbside. You can bring it back to get it fired. Lots of places are doing lots of, different out of the box thinking. Stopped by Classically Kate. I stopped by Blue Star Bazaar and Southern Yankee. I got a gift certificate at Naked Greens. I got takeout at Reiki. There are lots of things that you can do. And if I didn't stop by you as a store, I'm going to try and get there the rest of the weekend, trying to do my work like everybody should to support what's happening in our retail shops and restaurants and businesses in town. That's it. As a community, we all got to stick together. And I appreciate everybody who's been sticking with me and the people who've supported me with memberships. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot. Thank you very much. Everybody stay healthy, wash hands. I'd like to encourage people not to do play dates and group gatherings of kids. The whole point of them sending kids home was so that they wouldn't get together. We got to, as they say, flatten that graph, flatten that I'm a little tired these days. But anyway, do what you can to make sure that we don't spread this, that we contain this and squash it, and stay healthy, everyone. All right. The best to everybody, and we'll stay in touch. It's a gorgeous day outside. People should be outside. Okay, take care, everyone.